Hello everyone, wishing you all a happy new year. Thank you for tuning into this video. Today I'll be reviewing two wireless stereo earbuds from a brand called Realfit. Before we dive in, let me get a few things out of the way. This video is for educational purposes. I'm not sponsored by anyone and I purchased these products with my own money. Make sure to watch this video until the end so you don't miss on any important details. Moving on, I decided to try the F3 and F4 models because I preferred the in-ear design. Unlike the previous generations, the F1 and F2, which feature a semi-in-ear design, this fit my preference better. Some Malaysian reviewers suggest that Realfit is a sub-brand of Realme, but I can't confirm the accuracy of that information. Anyways, let's get started. One thing I noticed right away when I got the F4 is the brightness of its charging case LED indicator. It's definitely brighter than the F3. The F3 charging case has a round rectangular shape, while the F4 features a horizontal oval design. Both are small enough to fit in my waist bag, but in terms of size, I'd say the F4 is slightly smaller than the F3. The F3 takes up more space, especially if you add a case to the charging case, which I do. If there's one thing I don't like about the F4 charging case design, it's that the charging port is at the back instead of the bottom, like the F3. I feel like having it at the bottom just makes more sense if you catch my drift. Both charging ports use a Type-C input. As for the earbuds themselves, I always thought the stem design of the F3 was the one for me, but after getting used to the bean-shaped design of the F4, I find it more convenient, especially when applying skincare. Whenever I put skincare on my face and neck, I noticed that the stem design would often get dislodged from my ear canal, which would kind of ruin the music or video streaming experience. That doesn't happen with the F4. Both the F3 and F4 are stable in terms of connection with no lag or sound drop when streaming music or videos. Both earbuds feature a game mode that reduces latencies by up to 60 milliseconds. I should note that with the F4, the earbuds tended to disconnect from my phone whenever I place my phone in my waist bag and twist it to my back when cycling. By disconnecting, I mean the earbuds would momentarily lose connection, causing the audio to drop before resuming playback once the connection stabilized. This indicates that the connection was not completely severed, but rather unstable. This behavior is very annoying as I had to keep my head in a certain position to prevent the earbuds from disconnecting again. Fortunately, this issue doesn't occur with the F3, so I am unsure whether the problem stems from hardware limitations, glitchy software, or both. Hopefully, an over-the-air firmware update could address this issue in the future.
This is an audio sample coming from the Realfit F3 ANC. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. This audio sample is coming from the Realfit F3 ANC. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. This audio sample is coming from a Bluetooth neckband from the brand Deepak. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Audio distance test. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
At first, I was worried that the F4 might not pick up sound as well as the F3 due to its bean-shaped earbuds, but that doesn't seem to be the case. As you can hear from the audio sample, both the F3 and F4 microphones provide clear audio when taking a call, with the F4 having less digital audio noise. I've also included a comparison of the audio clarity between the F3 and a neckband from the brand Deepak, which I purchased back in December 2022. I wish I could replicate the audio distance test with the F4, but after my Huawei P40 Pro was updated, I can no longer use the front camera to record audio from Bluetooth. Both the F3 and F4 have lower volume levels compared to the neckband. For example, I need to set the volume above 50% to get a good sound from the earbuds, while the neckband can produce a solid sound below 50%. This might give the neckband an advantage in terms of battery life. The F4 excels at producing bass compared to the F3, especially when using the classical EQ setting in the app's equalizer. The F4 has better bass separation between the instruments, and the bass is deeper. To describe it best, the rumbling of drums and thunder sound authentic, not fake. Both the F3 and F4 also support 3D sound. However, I'm unsure whether they truly support 360 spatial audio as claimed. I tested this by playing a spatial audio on YouTube, and while I did notice the audio shifting left and right, I didn't experience the full immersive effect of sound moving around me in all directions. For reference, spatial audio or surround sound typically creates the illusion of sound originating from multiple points in a 360-degree space, simulating a more lifelike audio environment. In practice, this feature can be hit or miss depending on the device or content. Overall, if you're someone who values bass performance and a richer, more immersive sound, the F4 is likely the better choice. However, if you're looking for a solid, reliable audio experience with an easy-to-use design, the F3 still holds up well. Speaking of the equalizer, some reviewers have mentioned that the equalizer presets are nothing more than a gimmick, while others suggest sticking between the default and popular presets. That's understandable, especially since many reviewers are used to high-end earphones, which have more refined sound profiles. Personally, I find the equalizer presets to be effective. For instance, the popular presets enhance the sound for energetic tracks like Bubblegum Beach by Marina and the Diamonds, Cannibal by Kesha, or What the Hell by Avril Lavigne. The presets adds punch to the music, making it more lively. However, since getting the F4, I tend to stick with the classical presets for both music and video. This setting brings out the vocal and deepens the bass, providing a fuller sound. If you're after a more balanced sound, the popular presets is a solid option. Or you can always customize your own equalizer to suit your preference. The app gives you the flexibility to adjust frequencies to your liking, so there's plenty of room for personal sound customization. That being said, the F4 and F3 are affordable wireless stereo earbuds. While the built-in presets and custom equalizers options help improve the sound, some frequencies might still feel muted or lack the depth found in higher-end earbuds. For the price, though, the sound quality is quite good and the equalizer helps elevate the listening experience within the limitation of these budget-friendly models. When it comes to the audio codecs, I'm happy to report that both the F3 and F4 supports two codecs, the standard SBC and AAA. On my Huawei P40 Pro, it automatically uses the AAC codec. But if you're using an older Realme device with Realme UI 2.0 or earlier, you may need to manually switch to AAC. If you're unsure which codec your device is using, you can check it through the developer options. That being said, I haven't noticed any significant differences between these two codecs, but that might just be me. However, I'm glad to see that more codecs are making their way into affordable TWS space. The more codecs, the better. The ANC function on Realfit has been hyped ever since the Realfit F2 Pro, starting with 35 decibels reduction, and with the F4 being able to block up to 40 decibels. But before we talk about how effective ANC is, let's first understand what active noise cancellation actually does. ANC works by detecting surrounding noises and creating a sound wave that matches the frequency of incoming noise, effectively canceling it out and creating the illusion of a quieter environment. However, there are limits to this technology. ANC is most effective at canceling low and predictable frequencies, such as the hum of a laptop fan or a stand fan. The best ANC systems can even reduce the sound of an aeroplane engine. Unfortunately, it doesn't work well with high frequencies. Sudden noises or unpredictable sounds like raindrops hitting your roof, people talking, children screaming, or sounds from a TV, radio, or passing vehicle. Why is that? The key issue is that ANC is constantly analyzing, calculating, and negating surrounding noise, which can cause processing delays. To visualize this, think of the noise as an incoming numbers. If the number 1 comes in, the chip needs to calculate how much to subtract to get to 0. After processing, it realizes that 1 minus 1 equals 0. But imagine being bombarded by numbers constantly. Sometimes the system can't keep up with the speeds of incoming noise, which leads to delays or gap in cancellations. Additionally, there are limits to how many combinations of numbers the system can process to cancel out the noise effectively. Another limitation of ANC is the design of the earphones themselves. In-ear earbuds generally won't perform as well as over-ear headphones for noise cancellation. Why is that? In-ear earphones mostly block sound from entering the ear canal, but they don't isolate sound as effectively as over-ear headphones. Our ears works like satellite dishes, directing sound into the ear canal, but also picking up sound through skin. This is why the best ANC systems today are often found in over-ear headphones. These headphones block sound even before it reaches your ears, providing better overall noise isolation. If you're curious about how top-tier ANC headphones perform, I highly recommend checking out a video I'll link in the description, which showcases the best of the best in ANC technology. That said, I have some points of agreement and disagreement with the sound technician in that video. I disagree with his statement that ANC should only block certain sound. For me, manufacturers should aim to produce the best form of noise cancellation, especially considering that individuals with conditions like hypersensitive hearing, anxiety, or autism may rely on ANC to avoid meltdowns or to calm down after one. Proper noise cancellation can be crucial for their well being. However, I do agree with the technician when he says ANC should be more personalized. I think adding a feature that allows for a hybrid of ANC and transparency mode is a great idea. Furthermore, giving users the ability to control the intensity of ANC would be more beneficial than relying solely on AI to handle the adjustment. He also mentioned that he wants sound like car honks or sirens to pass through ANC. Personally, if you're out on the street, I think it's better to switch your earphones to transparency mode. This seems like a more common sense approach. We should always be aware of our surrounding, and ANC should ideally be used in secure control environments. So, what can you expect from ANC on the Realfit F3 and F4? The F3 start reducing sound right away when you activate noise reduction, while the F4 takes a more gradual approach. From my experience, ANC definitely helps in eliminating sound like a laptop fan noise and reducing the sound of a stand fan. The best way I can describe it is that predictable sound like the hum from a stand fan will feel farther away even if the fan is only 2 meters from me. As for conversation sound, they will be reduced if the sound source is further away than you. In conclusion, I would say that ANC on the F3 and F4 works, but it's not perfect. If you have medical conditions like hypersensitive hearing or anxiety, I highly recommend investing in ultra premium ANC headphones. This can handle a wider range of noise from low to high frequencies by combining both active noise cancellation and passive noise insulation. I'm skipping the normal mode because I rarely use it. The transparency mode is quite different between the F3 and F4. On the F3, the transparency mode is quite aggressive. I refer it as a spying mode because it not only picks up surrounding sounds but also amplifies them, making everything at least 4 times louder than it actually is. Occasionally, the F3's transparency mode produces static or screeching sounds, especially in response to sudden loud noises or nearby conversations. This combination of amplified sound, static, and screeching can potentially harm your hearing, so I do not recommend using this mode for extended periods. Realfit addressed the F3's transparency mode issue in the F4 by making it more subtle and closer to how human hearing works, allowing sounds to pass through without amplifying them as much. However, I've noticed that the transparency mode seems to prioritize music, especially when listening to radio while driving. It does this in 2 ways. Music is picked up more clearly even when someone is talking next to me in the passenger seat. It reduces the car engine noise even when I'm accelerating. I believe this is achieved through passive noise insulation, which acts as a physical barrier in your ear canal. That said, the F4's transparency mode is not perfect. As I mentioned earlier, it struggles to pick up voices during conversation, definitely a downside. I believe these issues could be easily resolved if the users were given the ability to control the intensity of the transparency mode. The app offers a variety of features that allow you to customize your experience. You can change the ANC mode, toggle gaming mode on and off, adjust EQ settings for the equalizer, and configure key settings for touch commands. You can also rename the Bluetooth earbuds, perform over-the-air upgrades, and access tools like white noise audio. The app even includes a clean dust and drain function to help clear out any dust moisture in your earbuds. However, there are two major weaknesses with the F3 and F4. They lack earbuds GPS tracking, and they don't display the battery percentage of the charging case. These features were available on the F2 Pro. Interestingly, I've seen some TikTok reviewers who have these functions on their F3 earbuds, though I'm not sure why this anomaly exists. Before moving on to the next chapter, I wanted to mention something that initially confused me. At first, I thought the app had bugs because I often couldn't use it to switch the ANC mode. It turns out the issue was actually with the F3 chip, which had trouble communicating with my devices. After switching to the F4, I noticed the problem was resolved, and yes, I'm using the same version of the app on all of my devices. I can't say I'm a huge fan of the touch control, but I do appreciate the ability to customize the commands to suit your preference. For example, by default, you need to double tap to adjust the volume up or down, but you can set it so that a single tap does the trick instead. Why I didn't like it? There are two issues that bothered me the most. Delays in commands. There's a noticeable delay when using the touch commands. It takes a moment for the action to register. However, once the volume sliders appears, the response becomes more immediate. Limited ANC control. While I can set the touch controls to switch the ANC mode, I can't assign a specific command to toggle directly between modes like noise reduction and transparency mode. This means I had to cycle through all the ANC modes before reaching the ones I want, which is a bit inconvenient. Additionally, I'm not sure if this is an issue across all Huawei phones or just my Huawei P40 Pro, but the touch commands for changing volume doesn't work correctly. When I try to adjust the volume, it starts playing audio from Huawei Music instead. However, the ANC switching command works fine. The earbuds typically last around 4 hours, depending on factors like how long you're listening to music, whether gaming mode is on or off, and which ANC mode you're using. Both noise reduction and transparency modes tend to drain the battery more quickly. As for the charging case, it can provide at least 3 full charge for the earbuds. Before it needs to be recharged itself. One feature I wish the charging case had is the ability to control when it charged the earbuds. I know not everyone would agree with this, but personally, I feel that charging the earbuds every time I store them, even when they still have some battery left, feels like a waste of energy. Let me know what you think about this. It takes about an hour to fully charge both earbuds, though this can vary depending on how much battery is remaining in each earbud. As for the charging case, it takes nearly 2 hours to reach a full charge, which means the F3 and F4 charging cases don't support fast charging. However, Realfit claims that the F4 features flash charging, which allows you to use the earbuds for 2 hours after just 15 minutes of charging. Once again, I'd like to remind you that these are budget true wireless stereos, earbuds. So, some compromises in quality are expected. This means they may be prone to damage after one drop, or the system itself might experience glitches. While it's not a 100% guaranteed outcome, if you're lucky enough, you may not encounter any of these issues. For the F3, there are two main problems I've encountered. The first issue started in October when I accidentally dropped the left earbud. Fortunately, I caught it with my aloe vera gel container before it hit the floor. However, since then, the ANC on the F3 hasn't been working properly. The left earbud now lets in more noise than the right earbud. And there's also a sound coming from the left earbud. These issues becomes more noticeable when I switch to normal or transparency mode. The second issue occurred in December 2024. I suspected something might be blocking the ANC microphone, so I had the idea to dip the left earbud into water. Mind you that the F3 is water resistant. After doing so, the left earbud disconnected from my phone and kept reconnecting and disconnecting. I couldn't use the drain function in the app, so I had to manually dry it out. Even after storing it in the charging case, the left earbud wouldn't turn off and keep reconnecting with my phone. Eventually, I had to unpair it from my device. The right earbud still works normally, but it refuses to connect with the left earbud. As of the time this video's uploaded, the issue hasn't been resolved, but I did get a replacement unit from the seller. As for the F4, the ANC started malfunctioning after almost a month of use. The issue is that it switches modes on its own. I cleaned the touch control surfaces with microfiber cloth, thinking there might be dirt or oil causing the issue, but the problem persisted. I also set all touch commands to none, but I couldn't disable the default touch command, the long press for 3 seconds to switch ANC modes. Even after doing that, the problem didn't go away. Ironically, the issue resolved itself after I placed the earbuds in the charging case and took them out a few minutes later. As of the time this video was uploaded, I've experienced the ANC switching multiple times. For me, this issue significantly affects the stability of the earbuds and the overall user experience. I suspect the issue is software related rather than hardware related because it stopped after storing the earbuds in the case. I'm not sure if Realfit will fix this issue via an over-the-air update, so we'll have to wait and see. Before I wrap up this video, I'd like to give two honorable mentions to my previous Bluetooth earphones. First, the F9-5 True Wireless Stereo Earbuds. These are OEM products without a brand name. They deliver deep bass when paired with the Realme 6 Pro thanks to its built-in Dolby Atmos equalizer. However, I couldn't replicate the same bass with my Huawei devices as it uses Huawei's in-house Houston equalizer. Since these are OEM TWS earbuds made back in 2020, they come with some issues like an unstable Bluetooth connection and poor microphone quality. To be honest, I bought the F9-5 back in October 2022. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the oval design of the F9 earbuds as they don't fit snugly into my ear canal. Instead, they rest on the outer part of my ear canal. I worry that if I were to shake my head, they might easily fall off. One more thing before we move on, for a pair of cheap earbud priced below 20 Malaysian ringgit, they surprisingly support 3D sound or as advertised 9D sound. This is a feature not available in the next item on the list. Next, we have a neckband from the brand Deepak. To be honest, I'm not sure of the exact model name because the box says Deepak DB-E01 while my devices shows the name as SX-R17. Regardless, this neckband is much better than the F9-5 in terms of Bluetooth stability and microphone clarity. However, the neckband doesn't seem to support 3D audio. When I tested it with 3D audio, the sound didn't move around. If you're someone who finds moving sounds annoying, this could be a good option for you. But then again, you can always set your audio to mono in accessibility settings. Otherwise, the sound quality is similar to the F9-5 and both support the SBC codec. To be honest, if I had reviewed wireless earphones back in 2023, I might have recommended getting a neckband instead of a TWS. Why is that? Because a neckband isn't truly wireless. It still has wires and is controlled by a single Bluetooth chip, which can provide better overall performance. Finally, in this last chapter, I find that the F3 and F4 are a good compromise between audio and microphone quality, especially if you're coming from cheaper earbuds and not considering alternatives like Bluetooth neckbands or Bluetooth headphones. The ANC is not perfect. Think of it as a budget-friendly options that give you a taste of ANC. This way, if you decide to upgrade to premium ANC earbuds in the future, you'll have a better understanding of what to expect. I would also love to see features like GPS tracking for the earbuds and battery percentage display for the charging case on all of Realfit TWS products. Between the F3 and F4 ANC, which one would I recommend? I suggest going for the F4. It delivers better audio quality, the earbud sits more comfortably in your ears, and it has a practical transparency mode, especially useful when you're in public or exercising. Based on my current experience with a Realfit, I'd say the brand isn't quite there yet. They need to improve their product quality control and fix glitchy software issues. Would I recommend you to buy true wireless stereo earbuds from Realfit? That's a question only you can answer. Are you willing to take a risk of experiencing the issues I've mentioned in this video? Or not?